Some more Barbara Kruger, placing images and words together. So there's a reason that we have this chapter happening at the same time as postmodern strategies, because a lot of times we see words and images combined in postmodernism, excuse me. In some cases, just the words becoming the image up here, all of these questions as creating the flag. And then down here, the words and the images combined. This is actually an installation of her work where she basically took over the walls of the gallery space, and even the floor over here you can kind of see in the side. Jenny Holzer is another artist who works with words. What she does is create these things called truisms. They're little pithy statements that either reveal a truth that people would rather not admit, or claim that this is what people think, or trying to sort of expose what some people think that they wouldn't want to admit to thinking, or make you think about something in a different way. So they're very short little statements, but then she doesn't leave them in the gallery. Some of them are. There's actually a Jenny Holzer piece at the Denver Art Museum it's like a rolling billboard, and it has truism after truism. You guys might have seen it. But she also puts them on T-shirts, on billboards. Actually, I have a piece. Actually, I thought I had it in this lecture, but I guess it's in a different one, where it's on a billboard at Caesar's Palace. Oh, it was one of the first lectures I showed you guys. And the context, having that at Caesar's Palace, that's one of her truisms as well, if you remember that image. And then even when text doesn't create words, even just used as a medium itself, it still carries this sense of meaning, this sense of communication. This piece by Jean Plensa, Le Grand Nomade d'Antibes, so cool. What's that?
Oh, I've seen this.
You have?
I've seen it before. We saw it in our other class.
Yeah, is it the same slide? 'Cause it's like
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Possibly. We sometimes share slides around. Yeah, but I think I made this slide. But this is it's a really, really cool piece where the text, it creates the skin of this large figure, but without a face. So then looking out towards sea is this blankness where the face would be. It's pretty interesting, I think. And even though the letters don't form words, we're still looking for them. You know? We're still trying to find them in there. I think it would be really interesting if yeah, 4. There's a 4.
No, it's 4.
Yeah.
P-F-O.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? If you dropped off the P, then you'd have 4. But it's just interesting. And then this is a piece by Anne Hamilton. I should have the name of this piece, and I'm sorry that I don't. What she's done here is the whole room is, and I don't know everything about the piece either. Her works are like really multi-layered, all kinds of stuff going on, and to really have a full understanding of what it's about, you kind of have to really know everything that's happening, and I can't remember everything that's happening in this piece, I'm afraid. But what I do know is there's these heads of lettuce in this case in the middle, and there's snails around on the outside that are living by eating the lettuce. So they're devouring the leaves of lettuce.
Are they live?
Yeah, they're live. They're live.
Peanut would have a heyday.
They're snails. And they're being taken care of. They're fine. They have lettuce. They're happy.
I know.
But if you think about a head of lettuce as being this layered, round object that is related to head, is related to our own heads, right? You get that sort of metaphor. And this layer upon layer of pages or leaves. And then all around the edges of the room are all the walls, and I think even the floor has been done this with underneath a surface so you can walk on it, are little notes of memories that different people have left, or thoughts, or ideas, or just little contributions. And they're all in different people's handwritings. So this isn't a singular piece. This is a collaborative piece. And she collected all of these, and then the whole room is just, as you can see, just completely covered with them. So this idea about how our thoughts are fleeting, I think, to me, is a really big part of this piece because you've got the heads of lettuce and they're slowly being devoured by the snails. You know, they're kind of eaten away toward the center, and these thoughts that come and go, and then they're gone. You know, and if you don't write them down, you don't get to capture them. And there's sort of a similarity there. And I think there's more going on. There might be some murmured sounds as well. Someone talking in the sound of the room. I can't remember exactly, but I know that happens in one of her pieces anyway. Her work is incredibly conceptual, like super, super cool, but you have to really, really think about it. Anyway, okay, on to sounds. So sometimes artists like to create work that actually creates a real sound. Other times we've seen, like in the piece that we saw a little bit ago, the Lichtenstein that says blam, you don't actually hear it when you look at the work, but you know what that sounds like, and so you get, again, that sort of memory of sound, kind of another sense being evoked, even if it's just kind of the memory of it. It's not the real sound. Do you know what I mean? But you still get sort of almost like the kinesthetic response. This piece is by Harry Bertoy. It's called Sonambient. And he made a whole series of these where you were actually supposed to move the pieces and the metal would bang against itself and create this sound that would then resonate for a long time. There used to be a piece downtown. This is a piece by Nick Cave called Sound Suits. Yeah, there's going to be a lecture by him at the Denver Art Museum. I'm so excited. I almost forgot about that.
When
Thank
is
you.
it?
Coming up, I think it's in May.
Yeah, it's like May too.
It's right after our semester's over. But he's going to be at the Denver Art Museum. Here's another one by him. I so want to go to this. I think I'm going to have to make it a priority to get to this one. But he created these suits that are particularly, and they're made out of just ordinary everyday objects, but the whole point is that they create sound. Like that's a big part of their goal, is that when you wear them, you rattle or you shake, or, you know, and he'd even have happenings where people would be wearing his different sound suits and they'd all come and play music, like just moving and dancing. And then this piece I found online is so freaking cool. It's called Vox Ether by Dr. Nigel Hellier I think he's in Brisbane, so Australia. And this work is 4 laser-cut sculptural forms based upon the morphology and symmetry of microscopic radiolaria, which are like countless billions of which live in our oceans. And then at the center of each work is a theremin electronics. Do you guys know what a theremin is?
Yeah, that's so awesome.
It's an electronics that creates a sound based on proximity. So, like, do you remember if you think about, like, bad 1960s sci-fi?
B movies, yeah.
That sound is a theremin, created by a theremin.
My dad is like
Which means
real.
that when people pass around it, it's
That's right.
going off.
That's right. That theremin electronics activated by the radial antennae that circle the object, so as people walk by, they create a sound that comes out of the
Like, we're
sculptures.
actually seeing this live?
No, it's in Brisbane. I wish. I just found it online.
I feel like I just hopped on a plane.
I would
and
love
went
to.
Brisbane.
That would be all right.
This piece is even
Hold on.
cooler because it's based on scientific structure of these little microscopic
Tiny microscopic
invertebrates.
organisms.
I learned about radiolaria.
Yeah, I have a
so
piece actually based on a
They're
radiolaria.
cool.
What were you?
I have a friend that created a piece that like basically you approach the theremin and like based on how you approach it, like runs it through a computer program
Uh-huh.
and like it'll start flashing colors that will tell you
That's
will, like,
cool.
tell you your future or something like that. Right,
That's
yeah,
cool.
Just based on like how you approach the object.
Nice. And you guys, that's what I have for sound. So not a whole lot, but just a few different pieces that incorporate sound, and almost all of it's sculptural. It's pretty hard to do in two-dimensional work, but just thought I'd throw them in there for you. But we talked a little bit about it with Lichtenstein. So that's it for lectures. We have 15 more minutes of class, and I just want to take a couple minutes to remind you guys of what we'll need for next week. So let me stop this really quick. How do I do it?